Okay, good morning. I have to stay so it doesn't shine into my eyes. I'm Zuzi. I'm from the Czech Republic and I work as an Agile coach and a trainer. And today I was thinking I will tell you something a little bit off topic from Agile. It's about the communication. Would you agree that the communication is the most important thing you need to be successful in your world, pretty much? Lots of nodding, yes. Okay, I have 2 videos for you, hopefully, if the internet is working. And I have some kind of exercises for you as well. So in some point of a time, I would need some volunteers. So be prepared. Anyway, once you are here, just look back to your last 4 weeks in your head and think about some most difficult communication issues you've been facing. What it was about. Give me some examples.
Convince my company to send people to Agile conference.
Convince my company to send people to the conference. You've been successful, I guess. Good job.
No, I failed.
You failed, but you are here at least.
I gave up.
Okay, anyone else? Some example? Something really difficult?
Getting a developer to speak.
Getting a developer to speak. Okay. Last one, the third one?
Telling my wife I'm not really drunk.
Oh, have you been successful? Does she understand? No. Yeah, telling your wife or husband that you are not drunk, well, that's a difficult thing. The communication, starting with the pieces of a theory, consists of 2 things. Talking, as most of you know, you will agree, I'm not drunk, I'm not really, no, it's just what you feel. I'm not sure if it happened like that, but it happened to me like that. That was my story. And listening as well. And listening doesn't mean just, yes, I hear you, but I don't care. It's just go here and hear out. So I show you some kind of a funny video for the beginning. So you see how it looks like when the communication is not exactly good. So I have it somewhere here. Maybe you see it already. Oh, sorry, that's the advertisement skip. Now here we are, I hope, at least.
What's the buttons?
Oh no, they installed voice recognition technology in this lift. I heard about this.
Voice recognition technology in a lift in Scotland. You ever tried voice recognition technology?
No.
They don't do Scottish accents.
11.
Could you please repeat that?
11.
11. 11.
11.
Could you please repeat that?
11.
Whose idea was this? You need to try an American accent. 11. 11.
That sounds Irish, not American.
What, doesn't it? 11.
Where in America is that? Dublin?
I'm sorry. Could you please repeat that?
Try an English accent, right? 11. 11.
You from the same part of England as Dick Van Dyke?
Listen, you're saying smart ass.
Please speak slowly and clearly.
Smart ass.
11.
I'm sorry. Could you please repeat that?
11. If you don't understand the lingo, away back home to your own country.
Ooh, is that talk now, is it? Away back to your own country?
Oh, don't start, Mr. Bleeding Heart. How can you be racist to a lift?
Please speak slowly and clearly.
11. 11. 11. 11. 11.
You're just saying it the same way.
I'm going to keep saying it till I understand Scottish, alright? 11. 11. 11. 11.
I'll just take his head anywhere, you cow.
This is a voice-activated elevator. Please state which floor you would like to go to in a clear and calm manner.
Calm. Where's that coming from? Why is it telling people to be calm?
Because they knew they'd be selling us to Scottish people who'd be going out for nut city.
You have not selected a floor.
Aye, we have. 11.
If you would like to get out of the elevator without selecting a floor, simply say, "Open the doors, please."
Please. Suck my wally. What should you say, please? I'm not begging that for nothing.
Open the doors, please.
Please. Pathetic.
Please remain calm.
Oh, you went up tonight. Get up now. Hey, just wait for it to speak.
You have not selected a floor.
Here's your cow. You don't answer these doors. I'm going to come to America. I'm going to find whatever desperate actress gave you a voice, and I'm going to go in an electric chair for you.
Scotland, you bastard.
Scotland! 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 Freedom!
Going up.
So, that was the funny video, as I said. But how many times did you try to persuade someone pretty much in the same manner? Repeating the same thing all over again, and they still don't understand. I don't know why. But if I say it 100 times, maybe they will eventually understand. Most of the communication goes just say what I have in my head, and if they don't understand, I'll repeat it. And then I say it again, something else, and if they don't understand, repeat it. So think about it. Well, going more into the deep, your brain entirely looks like that. It's got lots of wires, it's a very complicated device, it's the most complicated device you can ever imagine. And it consists of some pictures and some experiences. So it says you, if that happens, be careful, there is a danger, you should do exactly this, or exactly that, or whatever. So there are some patterns which you already learned, otherwise you would be very slow. You would see something and say, or hear something and say, oh, how shall I do it, what shall I reply? And then it would be already the car coming and you will be dead. So there are some very nice patterns which helps you to survive in this life if you follow them. And it's not only seeing the car, it's also if you hear somebody telling something. That's pretty much still the same thing. And what the brain simply do, there are some hard-coded patterns. From the beginning of your life, your parents taught you something, and they behave in some way at schools, and so on and so on. But there are some experiences from your real life. To give you some example, just imagine you are calling a friend and saying, well, I'm coming over for a week and would like to see some historical city. Are you using a trains there? Is it a good idea? Is it safe? Is it what you usually do? And then the person would say, yes, sure, of course, we are using a trains. You can travel by the train there. So you go on the trip. And your expectations? Well, last time I've been in Asia, by the way, I used that train. It was awesome. Japan, very fast, very reliable. It was better than in the plane. It was 1 minute exact time on the platform at the exact steps which were drawn here. So if you stay here, the doors happen to be exactly in front of you. Perfect. I don't know if you have such kind of trains, but we don't. So coming to that trip, expecting, you know, what I last time saw, but then eventually, that's the reality. Do those people use the trains? Of course they do. So if you ask them without knowing the other context, Yes, he would suggest you to use a train. Well, it doesn't look like that nowadays, but still, I would not really suggest to use a train in India, for example. Well, you can, I did, but it's not really such clear suggestions. And you may say that I should myself do some research and I should maybe buy some guidebook and read it. But then look back to your situation. Is there any guidebook how to communicate with IT people for the business people and vice versa? What shall we say and what shall not we say? What experiences do those two groups have? How about a guidebook how to talk to your customer? And so on and so on. So it's always something like that, and your communication would be full of those misunderstandings. So the first thing to kind of survive in the communication is to understand that this might happen and confirm what's going on in the brain of the other person. Which kind of picture? To really understand the context. What we try to do in an Agile world, we pretty much try to bring the user stories in. So we were trying to say, well, it's not just about to say cut off the heads of these animals, but you want to say, well, as a player, I want to cut heads of my enemies so that I can see how many of them I already killed. And then, of course, I can say, oh, that's good. I'm very good at killing the other animals. And also, I killed that blue one. That's the most dangerous one, you see? I'm good. Or the other way around, when you kill them and it just disappears, it would be the same functionality, killing some kind of enemies. But it's a different feeling. From this one, you might be really happy. I'm so good. So that's what we try to do. We try to bring some story, and we try to point that other people's brain, the developers in this case, and testers, to the right direction, to pretty much tell them that's where you should be thinking to. Yes, of course, you can use a train, but they might be quite crowded, so make sure you are aware of it. Or something else. And sometimes they have even a couple hours delay, so be prepared. That's no problem. So try to imagine what the other people can feel. And having a communication is a strange thing. There is one hint which always helps. Try to explain it to someone else. So search for a friend and try to explain him what do you feel. What do you think? Where the problem is? That's quite clear. But it usually works if you talk to such animal as well and try to explain, I've got this difficult task in my job and I don't know how to solve it. So I'll try to explain you. And then while I'm trying to explain, you quite often find out that you already knew the solution. That your brain understand where the problem is because you have to tell it to someone. So it's much better than thinking about it in your head. So that's still how the communication could be very much useful. And now I'll show something how powerful it could be if you can influence just by words what kind of picture that person has in his brain. So there is a guy who is able to sell a diamond ring, buy a diamond ring by just blank sheets of paper. So just imagine you just cut these A4 papers over there, create a size of a banknote, 100 euro or whatever, put them into your wallet and go to the shop, buy a ring. And you will be living with that ring. And I show you the video first, and then we can discuss how that's possible that he was successful. So that's Darren Brown.
very good. I'm kind of interested in maybe one of these bands down here. These are platinum, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, that's very nice. So, can you tell me about it? So it's... Mm-hmm. 4,500. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, fantastic. Well, I will take that as it is. I'll give you cash for that, if that's okay. Thank you. All right. Great, lovely. I'll let you box that up. Thank you very much. What's the nearest subway here? Just on the corner down there. So is that north or south that way? Oh, no. That's west that way. Okay, so that's right, north up there. I've been thinking the wrong way. Thank you very much indeed. So, straight down there on the corner? Fantastic. And, yeah, I was a bit intimidated about using the subways here, but my friend just said, take it, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I was a bit intimidated about that, but that's great. So, straight down there. That way down on this corner? Yep. That way on that? Straight down there. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, is this real? You can Google couple of those videos. They eventually, if we take it longer, he eventually would go out of the shop and run after that guy, but he would be already beside the corner. He's been trying it in this particular video 3 times. Once he's been buying some kind of meat or whatever it was and left. Then he's been trying to buy hot dog at the street, but he was not successful, by the way. That person was kind of Chinese or Japanese or something, or Vietnamese, and I assume he was more concerned on the language than the others. But then he did this. If you Google his name, Darren Brown, you would find an enormous number of videos about how he is powerful with communication and with influencing people and so on. So what he did, if we talk about it, what have you recognized that he did and which could help him?
Take it, it's fine.
Yeah, he said, take it, it's fine. And you know, the shop assistants, they hear that sentence thousands times per day or whatever. So they say, take it, it's fine, okay, he's giving me money. So he saw the money really in his brain because the brain said, oh, again, the money are coming. So he took it. And then he did second thing as well. What it was? Distraction. So he's been asking about the subway, is it west or north or whatever. So that person was not really concerning about the money because he knew that job anyway. He's doing all the time the same job all over and all over again. He'd been more thinking, where is the subway? Or is it west or is it? So that was the other thing. So that's the power of the communication. And you can be such good as Darren, indeed, if you train a bit. So, let's start at a very basic level. Let's understand 2 basic patterns which are hard-coded as well in our brain and which we are using very often, at least I am using them as well. So, that's the first one. Anybody got idea what that means? If not, I will tell you a story and then you can guess. So the story is about, just imagine you are a boy and a girl, small, this size, running around the house there and back and there and back. And then eventually you run around that beautiful, nice vase and touch it or whatever, you don't even know, and it falls down and break into the pieces. So it's here, you are just doing something like that, see it? And then don't know what to do, but then eventually your mother arrives and see, who broke the vase? And she's really angry. And you are standing here and saying like, oh, who? That was a cat. The cat was running around and it's been a cat. And then you give your mother an excuse to be even more angry because you are a very bad children. You're lying to me, your mother. Oh, that's very bad behavior. I thought you are a nice girl and boy, but you're lying. No, I never thought you would be lying to me. And you feel really bad. Even more bad than if you would really say, okay, I'm sorry, I broke the vase, can I help you with something or whatever. So That's kind of a pattern which you're following all over the year. She gives you the excuse to lie. So she pretty much, by the communication, by the way she talked to you, she forced you. And you just use it. Maybe if you would have been more experienced, you would tell her, well, sorry, it was me. But the young, small girls and boys, well, they try. And then, of course, they grew up. You, as these small girls and boys, you grew up in, you have your own house, and then there is some problem with your bathroom, and so you call a plumber and ask him, well, you know, I need some fixtures to be done. Can you do that? Can you give me an estimation of a cost? And he said, okay, if I exchange this, and that, it will cost you 100 euros. So say, okay, and there will be no extras, right? He said, no, there will be no extras. It's okay. We change just these 5 parts, and plus my time. It would take me 2 hours. That's okay, 100 euros. So you agree. He's coming even already for the weekend because you really ask him, can you please come as fast as possible because, you know, the water is running out or whatever. So, and he does a great job. And during that job, he found out that there is some part which needs to be changed as well, because otherwise it would cause you serious troubles in very near future because it's almost broken. So he buy it. It's just 3 euros out of the 100 euro bill, so whatever. And then finally, he's down. You say, oh, thank you, that was good, send me an invoice. And he sends you an invoice with a list of items, and it's 103 euros. Because there is an extra part, and he even explained that there was an extra part, so it's okay. But then you see that bill and say, how could he possibly do that? He's trying to do something wrong to me. No, I don't like it. I don't keep it that way. So you call the plumber and say, how could you do that? We agreed there will be no extras ever, and you break that agreement. You are a bad person. And he's saying, like, you know, we talk about it, that it's necessary to exchange it, and it is just 3 euros. So, but you agreed with me that there will be no extras, and I will be complaining to you, to your boss, and I will write a poor review to your services. And so finally the poor plumber says, well, okay, let's keep it 100 times. I don't mind, it's okay, whatever. And you feel like you win. But isn't it exactly the same pattern again? By having that agreement in the beginning, you just said, well, you know, we all knew, both knew, that there may happen to be some extras. So how about if the agreement would be a bit different? If you see there is something else needs to be done, how about if you tell me and we together agree if we buy that part or not? That's again and again, and then you go to your work, you become product owners, managers, whoever, and then agree with your customers or fixed time, fixed price, fixed functionality contract. And then at both sides you're complaining that the other part didn't keep that agreement. Anybody got some idea what it could be that? Now I got you, son of a bitch. Yes. There's a pattern which you automatically follow. Not you, but all the society pretty much. If you recognize it at the beginning, you are at a very better stage to be able to break it and say, okay, well, we both knew that it might happen to be like that. So what shall we do about it? Or whatever else, it's up to you to break the pattern in that particular situation. That's one. The second one. I need first one volunteer who would be willing to take tasks from his or her manager. Guys, one volunteer? No? Okay, good. Can you please leave the door for a minute so I can give instructions to the manager? Thank you. And now I need a manager, really a strong guy who would be the boss. Really the boss with all its the boss feel that that person is just some resource. And he should do his work alone, pretty much. Because you paid him for that, okay? For that job. So, come here, please. So you will not be really helping him.
I will be
His task would be search this pen, so please hide it somewhere.
here.
Whenever in the room. Okay, good. So if he asks for where it could be, you say, well, it's your job to find it. I'm not. Okay, is it?
I'm playing a bad boss.
Yeah, a really bad boss who is kind of trying to help, but in a way, you know, you are good at searching it, so it's definitely not there. And it's not there either. So you're trying to help, but not really in a good way. Clear?
Clear.
Can I please come in?
Yes.
So,
That I'm your boss. You work for me.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you. You are late 2 minutes to work. You know what your task is?
No.
Actually, your daily job is you should find a black marker, a black pencil. That I could write something to the board. It's disappeared. It's your job to find it. Go and find it.
Why black and nothing else?
You have your instructions or work responsibilities. Start searching for it. Your instructions to work is to find a black marker. Do it.
Has anybody black marker?
It's in the room.
In the room. So black marker during what time?
During what time?
What time is?
Just do it.
Just do it.
ASAP. ASAP. Yesterday needed.
I can't find it.
Are you a bad worker or didn't you study in university searching for markers?
I can't see in my
No.
job. I can't see in my
Try,
job description about black markers.
Black mark. Just do it. I need it. I need it. Go and do it. I have my daily businesses, daily questions to solve. You have your task. Do it. Do whatever you need. You need to find that.
you could be even more hard to him and say, don't even think you will find it here.
Yes. Don't even think you will find it here. It's not here.
I have solution. If you use those free markers directly on each.
I would need to use 3 different colors. I would ask you to search for the 3 different markers. I need one black. I need a marker which is written on black marker.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it's really black, with some red stripes and blue stripes and green stripes. So, how did you feel?
I didn't understand the purpose.
Well, the purpose. Who cares about the purpose? Did you understand your task? That's the first thing, you know. So, what else?
Well, I felt a bit micromanaged.
Well, what else?
And the pressure is coming. So it was a little bit stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it started to feel that it's impossible.
Okay, what he could possibly do?
Ask the audience.
Yeah, ask the audience, but
I asked.
well, you asked, you've got some very nice help. It's in the room. Thank you for that. But usually, to tell you the truth, if you do it, tell me, do you know where it is? They say, yes. But will you tell me? They say, no. Why? I don't have a clue, because when I ask them, they usually say, well, you know, we thought we are not allowed to do that. So that's happening. In this case, of course, they don't want to break this exercise. But in real life, it's happening as well. And it's not about the exercise anymore. The other people, they just, you know, feel, well, we don't care about his job. Yeah, it's a pity he has such a lousy job. But I'm good. I don't have to find a pen. That's good for me. So I'm glad he's finding a pen. It's not about how we organize themselves, so we find it together. How did you feel?
I felt not very good, because usually I try to help
Yeah.
my project team.
Yeah, that's good for you. Thank you very much for this exercise. It's been really great. By the way, it's here. It was so easy, you know. So, do you know what that means? See what you made me do. Yeah, pretty much. So you are again, by the communication, a little bit changing how the people behaves and influencing it. And if you recognize that pattern or the other one, which we talked before, you can break it. And you can create much nicer environment in your work or life or whenever it is. It's just in your head. So now, think about what was the most difficult communication issue you've been facing with your boss. Or manager, of course, because we don't have the bosses anymore. What was it? Fight about design patterns. Deadlines, yeah, that's more quite common. But look back at the Agile transformation. Did you ever try to persuade your manager that Agile or Scrum would be the wonderful way of working? Some of you, maybe. Well, we have 7 minutes left, so let's do it faster. Let's do it this way. If I would be such a real boss, the same as you've been in that exercise, I really would like to control everything. I don't want to help you with anything because you are paid to do your job. Kind of boss. What would be the arguments which you would use for such kind of boss that you would be using Agile? Give me one at least. So I can say, okay, try it.
Let's save money and time.
It will help us to save money and time. Yeah, that's could work. What would be the argument which you should never use for that type of person?
Let's work for the boss.
Well, that's one. And there is another one which is more common.
Let's work for the developers. Let's do it different way than you think.
Yeah. And there is another one. We will be now self-organized team. That's what the people are often using because, you know, they don't really change their way of selling Agile to the different people. So if I hear being that boss, so you will be self-organizing, yeah? So I am not useful, you say. No. That's definitely not what's going to happen because I have to be responsible and I will control you. How about that guy? That's a person who needs all the time something new. He's kind of happy, but it must be new, but it must be fancy, it must be... Speaking about the conferences and... what would you say about Agile? That's the easy one. Try to sell Agile to this guy. Yeah, it's a hip. It's a new methodology. It's something completely else than we used before. And by the way, they've been speaking about it at the conference. That's cool. How about that type of lady?
Numbers, facts, percentages. More efficient.
It's more efficient. Yeah, it's more efficient. And how can you, by the way, prove that it's more efficient? Do you have some data for that? What else you can say?
Less paperwork.
No. I think the papers are very useful. I need the data, exact data. So no, that's not the right. I'm sorry, guys. I knew you don't like the papers, but no. Better papers. In which kind of they will be better?
They'll be structured and organized.
Mom, okay. Really? Oh, that's. Can you show me one example of your report, which would be better? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So one of the things you can say, well, here is a burn-down chart, which you will be getting every sprint, and so on and so on. So get more data. And finally, I've been working once for such a person. Well, that's usually a former developer. He's been one of us before, as developers. And now he eventually became a manager. No one knows why exactly, but he's been the first one in the company or whatever. So how do you sell Agile to him?
Send him to a conference.
Send him to a conference? There is one single sentence which you can use for this person. It's more fun, and we all want to do it. We would be more happier if we do it and say, really? You want to do it, all of you? Well, let's do it. I never really say anything wrong to you. I never really stop you from anything which you want. You know that, so let's do that. And you can even help him with, of course, how to sell it to his manager. That would help as well, because otherwise he might say, well, I would love to, but, Carl, he's really a different type of person. So what I was trying to say through this small exercise, first one, that there is no single way of communicating to all the people. What you need to imagine in your head that you are that guy and look at the world through his eyes and say, okay, what he might be seeing, how he might feel, what are his values, what he needs, and then tell the right story. There is no right or wrong story. It's just different for every individual. And last thing, to kind of motivate you, it's all in your head. You can start and change it right away. It's all hidden here. And let's try some fast exercise. Can you please stand up? I will show you what to do, and then you will repeat it. So first I will show you. So you will point in front of you, close your eyes, move the fastest side to the right, then open your eyes and remember the spot and return back. Can you do that? Point in front, close your eyes, turn right, move the head if you need, open your eyes, remember the spot, turn back. And now, imagine that you've been able to move 5 centimeters or even more to the right, even more farther. Imagine how the spot would look like. Imagine that's possible. And try it again. Point in front, close your eyes, turn right to that spot which you imagine, open your eyes. Okay, did you achieve it? Was it more far for any one of you? For some of you it was. I guess you are standing too close to each other, so you didn't have a space. But you can do it. Thank you very much for your attention, and enjoy the conference.